New footage has emerged of the increased military presence in the Indonesian provinces of Papua and West Papua. Armed soldiers patrol many areas and activists say there is a campaign of intimidation as Indonesia continues to reject calls for another independence referendum. The UN has called on Indonesia to protect the rights of all people to protest peacefully and address acts of threat and intimidation.
In Jayapura, this is now a daily sight. Heavily armed Indonesian paramilitary officers patrolling each block of the Papuan capital. They greet children and even pose for photos. But Papuans say it's in stark contrast to the intimidation tactics their people are facing.
They are sweeping from door to door. At the night, the special forces using a private car monitor people.
Today in the Yapen Regency, what had been a peaceful protest against racism and calling for an independence referendum saw 3 people arrested and the crowd dispersed by security officers. Many also turned out in the Yahukimo Regency in a West Papuan uprising which has now stretched into its 29th day.
They think that the people of West Papua is stupid, so they can easily be influenced by the Jakarta.
Among those now in jail, a young mother. Her crime was carrying a number of small West Papuan Morning Star flags, while human rights lawyer Veronica Coleman, who is in Australia, could soon face an Interpol red notice from Indonesia. She's accused of spreading hoaxes and inciting protests. She says for years the Indonesian government has allocated more time and energy to waging a propaganda war than it has to investigating and ending human rights abuses in West Papua. SBS has contacted the Home Affairs Department, which said it does not comment on individual cases. The Indonesian embassy failed to respond. But support for West Papuan independence has come from far and wide: San Francisco, Vienna, far north Queensland and Melbourne. Indonesia has told the United Nations it has no intention of giving in to the demands of Papuan protesters for a referendum, pointing to a vote in 1969, which many observers have since described as a sham. In accordance with international law, the referendum has been legally carried out and final, and therefore it is never possible anywhere to be repeated. Today, Papua New Guinea celebrated 44 years of independence, but over the border, the Papuan struggle continues. Virginia Langeberg, SBS World News.